Well, it's fabulous to be here. This is really quite a striking place. The forest is beautiful, the bird sounds are great, the landscape is diverse. Today, the earth is really in a crisis, and we all have to do everything we can to avert it. And that means we need to act globally to alter the shifts that are occurring in the climate. But that work ultimately needs to start right here, right where we live, right in our backyard, working with local organizations to protect land and to allow the earth to really work well for us and for nature.
The 300 Committee Land Trust was formed in 1985 with a goal of preserving land in all villages and all areas of Falmouth. We've preserved 23% of Falmouth's land area, over 2,500 acres of land. The property that we're at today, the Shallow Pond Woodlands, was preserved in 2017. Permanent conservation of this 70 acres would create a 183-acre area because of the connections with Breivogel Ponds Conservation Area and the Walled Fender Conservation Area.
The beautiful thing about this forest and so much of the forest and woodlands across New England is that they're relatively young, and the trees are growing rapidly, taking in carbon dioxide, converting that into wood and material that gets into the soil as organic material, and so really make the earth a major site for the storage of carbon, taking it out of the atmosphere and holding it from accumulating in the atmosphere where it can change the climate.
So when I walk into this gorgeous landscape, what I see on a day like this is it is taking CO2 out of the atmosphere and it is storing it as carbon in the trees, and it's also going down below ground. And I think that often we don't think about that. We're used to walking around up here and we see these gorgeous towering trunks of trees around us. But if you think about it, really, that much stuff, all of that tree trunk, you could be turning that upside down, putting it down below ground. There's that much root material down below ground.
These second growth forests will continue to grow like this for a century, 2 centuries perhaps, maybe even longer, and the trees will just get larger and larger, and the ecosystem will continue to work to reduce the rate of climate change. The fabulous thing about the work here in the town of Falmouth by the 300 Committee and other organizations is that you've got a big goal, which is to conserve at least 30% of the town. That's a scale that's really important for what we're talking about. If every community would just pitch in and think about what can be done to improve the lives of people who live there, but also generate benefits for the rest of the world, we'd all be in a much better place.
These landscape pieces that are connected are just so inspiring for someone like me who thinks about how landscapes work and how we keep them working, both to keep them going, keep nature moving along, and to sustain human beings.